So it was necessary for the North Korean regime to bolster its citizens' pride in their state by embarking on the provocations that we saw last spring. When you are a military-first government, and the only thing that you have with which to make your citizens proud of their state is the military, you need to offer demonstrations of military power on a regular basis. There's no other way to stay in power. Now, the United States has such an America-centric view of the world that in America, when these missiles were fired, the media immediately claimed that North Korea just wanted to get America's attention. North Korea just wanted to strengthen its hands before the six-party talks. But I think that way of thinking changed after the nuclear test of May 25th, 2009. That's when a lot of people in the State Department realized that North Korea probably had no serious intention of giving up its nuclear weapons at all. Of course, the United States, through its Secretary of Defense, Robert Gates, made clear that the U.S. would never accept North Korea as a nuclear power. But the Americans' cynicism or the Americans' pessimism about the prospect for negotiations did not last very long because, as you know, Kim Jong-il embarked on a charm offensive in August. I don't think I need to explain these photographs to you, except maybe the third one, which shows the governor of New Mexico, Bill Richardson, and Tony Namkong meeting with North Korean officials in Santa Fe. And of course, this charm offensive worked. No matter how pessimistic the US government gets about North Korea, it does not take long for it to revert to its usual optimism. And I think there are reasons for this. Optimists and soft-liners are always going to dominate the North Korea discussion because an academic researcher who believes that North Korea is a rational actor is much more likely to be allowed into North Korea. And if he argues for an especially soft-line approach to North Korea, as Selig Harrison and Leon Seagull do, then he may even be invited to talk with government officials. And these visits to North Korea carry an enormous cachet in the research community. It does not matter that neither Harrison nor Seagull can speak Korean, that neither of them is capable of even reading a North Korean newspaper. The fact that they have been to Pyongyang a few times makes them experts on North Korea to an American's eyes. And unfortunately, a comparable dynamic is at work in the US State Department. If you believe in the prospects for negotiations, you are going to rise higher in the State Department, rise higher in the North Korea desk, than an official who does not believe that negotiations have a chance. So it's no coincidence that Sung Kim is a firm believer in the six-party talk process. He's supposed to be one of the last remaining 100% optimists in the US State Department. So it's no surprise, therefore, that the US was quick to accept the North Koreans' offer to engage in bilateral talks. Now, I know that the Americans say that these talks, which begin tomorrow, are inside the framework of the six-party talks, but I think we all know that this is ridiculous. And I think the North Koreans know that the US, once again, has not stood firm. We may well see some kind of breakthrough in these talks in the next few days, but I'm sure this breakthrough will be followed by an equally spectacular setback, because the North Korean regime simply cannot disarm and stay in power. So in closing, I would like to express a plea for a truly pragmatic North Korea policy. True pragmatism is not non-ideological. True pragmatism means studying North Korean ideology, studying the North Korean worldview. It also means taking into account North Korea's legitimacy crisis. This is not Libya. Gaddafi was able to improve relations with the United States because he did not have to worry about South Libya competing for the right to rule over all Libyans. North Korea, unfortunately, cannot abandon the military-first policy without losing all reason to exist. It cannot improve relations with America without losing all reason to exist. It's as simple as that. And for this reason, a truly pragmatic policy towards North Korea means giving up the hope that Kim Jong-il will disarm. That is just not going to happen. It would be much more pragmatic for the United States to concentrate its resources and manpower on trying to persuade China to allow North Korea to collapse. It will not be easy to persuade the Chinese to do this, but at least it is within the realm of possibility. The same cannot be said for what the Americans are trying to do with the Kim Jong-il regime, which is trying to get it to commit political suicide. Okay, that's it for me. I want to go over time. Thank you very much.